Today I want to take a step back from looking at the garden to looking at the plants and focusing a little bit on botany and plant structure, specifically leaf structure. Now this is important because a lot of times we get focused on how to take care of plants, but we may not know exactly what type of plant we're looking at. So when we know leaf structure, that can help us with identification. And identification is important for a lot of different reasons. Not only so you know what is in your garden, but also so you know whether it's edible, whether it's poisonous, whether you need to remove it, whether it's invasive, native. It just really helps us to know what we're dealing with. So we're going to talk a little bit about plant structure today. So this is a sweet gum here. And I want to show you because this is a simple leaf. So most plants have simple leaves, and it's kind of the leaf that you would think of in kindergarten, right? It's got one leaf blade or lamina, and then it's got the stalk that connects it to the branch. This stalk is called the petiole. So we have the petiole and the lamina, which is the leaf blade. Now leaves can have a lot of different shapes, and we're not going to go into that today because there's a wide arrangement of different leaf shapes. But the other thing that I want to touch on is where that leaf attaches to the stem can be in two different arrangements. So we can have opposite, which is like this calycanthus here, where the leaves are attached across from one another on that branch or the stem. So again, you can see there's a little bit of a small petiole here, the lamina. So this is a simple leaf, and it's got opposite arrangement. Now there's also alternate arrangement, such as this cottonwood that goes back and forth up that branch. Now you can tell a leaf because where a leaf attaches to the stem, you will notice that there is a bud right there in that axis, and that's called the axillary bud. So if we were to remove these leaves, you can see there's a little bit of a leaf scar there, which is also an important indicator with identification, and then also the bud. So when we prune stuff, a lot of times those axillary buds will start sprouting and shooting from there. So arrangement, meaning left and right, whether it is alternate as it goes zigzag like a step ladder back and forth, or opposite where they're completely opposite from one another. Those are both important factors when you're trying to identify leaves. So these are all simple leaves with a single lamina and a single petiole, and you can tell where it's connected because of that bud. Now over here we have some examples of compound leaves. So this is our pecan tree that we often see. One way to determine that this is indeed a compound leaf is to look at the leaflets and where they're attached to what is known as the rachis. So this is the stem or the stalk that holds all of these leaflets on here. The rachis, you will see, doesn't have axillary buds right above the leaflets. The only axillary bud is where that rachis actually attaches to the stem. So you can see that right there. So we do know that this is a leaflet. So when you're identifying this, you wouldn't want to just look at the single leaflet. You would want to look at that whole leaf. Now this particular compound leaf structure is known as pinnately compound. So if you think of like a pen, like a feather, you can see it has one main rachis here that the leaflets are oppositely attached as they go up it. Here, the buckeye is an example of a palmately compound leaf. And so we've got the petiole, and at this main point here, we've got these leaflets attached. And so again, palmately being like the palm of your hand with your fingers as they radiate out from the center of that. So this is a palmately compound leaf. You'll notice there's no axillary buds right there. The bud is where it actually attaches to the branch down below. So this is important, and I know you can really get into this. Some people might find this interesting. Some people may think this is a little beyond what they want to learn about when they're gardening. However, the reason why I wanted to share this information with you is because a lot of times people will need identification, whether they're using apps or they go to their local county OSU Extension office, and the county extension office will ask you to bring in some leaves for identification or some pictures of that. If we were to just bring in a picture of a leaflet, that's not going to be very helpful to us. So the more you can bring in to really elaborate and show us the true structure of that leaf so that we can get a full picture of what it is that we're dealing with, will help us not only be able to identify that plant, but possibly even diseases or pests that might be specific to that plant.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.